Good morning and welcome to the final day of Trop Cup for 2025. Up now on track 2, we have the consolidation 5th, 6th place playoff for Division 2. That is the Newcastle Roller Derby League Supernovas versus the Tweed Valley Rollers Valkyrie. I am Purple Rain and I am here to talk you through all the action happening on track this morning. Playing for the Supernovas, we have 0690 Fantastic, 102 Regulator, 113 Melonhead, 116 Julia Gulia, 15 Marilyn Tantrum, 2303 That Pie, 244 Eggs Benny, 2868 Isla Vista, 3 Holly Funk, 43 Horizontal, 810 Missy Tuffet, and on the bench they have Silverhammer, Valfreya and Mr. Horror. And playing for the Valkyries, we have 05 Hooker, 10 Kif, 14 Debris, 1800 Tequila Sheila, 20 Mischief, 24 Shellraiser, 394 Avarice Us, 42 Taylor Swiftly, 666 Dame Vivian Messwood, 707 Happy Kilmore, 75 Comet, 8008 Buster, 83 Pain Terror, 915 Jinx and Tonic, 99 Britches, and on the bench they have Exit Mole, Icy Kills and Spike. We have about 10 seconds until we hear that rolling whistle. Maybe a bit longer. There's still seems to be some officially business happening in the middle. Okay. Our teams are heading to the track. We have Holly Funk out for the first cam for the Supernovas. 915 Jinx and Tonic out for the Valkyries. And Jam is alive after a little bit of a false start there, but first lead jammer of the game goes to Jinx and Tonic. Holly Funk also out of the pack though. But Jinx and Tonic going for the points and calling the jam. Shellraiser out on the jammer line for the Valkyries. Missy Tuffet out for the Supernovas. 3 points to Jinx and Tonic in that previous jam, opening the scoring for the Valkyries. And that is Missy Tuffet out for lead jammer for the Supernovas. Missy Tuffet coming back into the pack. Shellraiser still looking for that initial pass. Getting run back by Regulator. Missy Tuffet pulling the jam. All right, we have 3 points on the board for the Supernovas. Both teams on the board and a tied game currently. We have 0-5 Hooker out to jam for the Valkyries. Isla Vista on track for the Supernovas. Hooker picking up lead jammer. But it will now be a power jam. There has been a back block being issued to Hooker. Two Valkyries blockers in the penalty box also. Isla Vista completing initial pass with a star stash. So this will be a 2-minute jam. Also 2 Newcastle blockers in the penalty box. It is busy over there this morning. 7-5 Comet going to the penalty box. Isla Vista through for 3 points for the Supernovas. We currently have 2 3-packs on track. Hooker is released from the penalty box, so the power jam element is over. But Hooker is back in the penalty box for a multiplayer block as a jammer. So we are back in a power jam for Isla Vista. And that is 4 points on the board for Isla Vista. All blockers back on track, but Hooker remaining in the Spank Alley penalty box. Isla Vista being run back by the Tweed defense. Hooker about to return. But that is 2 minutes over. A 7-point jam for the, nope, an 11-point jam for the Supernovas, taking them to 14. 2 points for the Valkyries, taking them to 5. Holly Funk back out on the jammer line for the Supernovas. We have an official timeout happening. Looks like that would be Avarice asked out to jam for the Valkyries. We'll see how long this one goes for. Just some important ref discussions to be had. But I will take this opportunity to talk about some of our sponsors. Our very busy penalty box is sponsored by Spank Alley, an international supplier of roller derby jerseys, armbands, helmet covers, and more for teams and individuals, customised to suit every body. But we are back into the action on track. Holly Funk. Okay, both jammers threw about the same time, but the lead was called to Avarice R. So I believe Holly Funk might have been out slightly faster. But Avarice R calls the jam. No points to anyone in that jam. It's always a bit tight when there's two jammers coming out of the pack at approximately the same time. Lead is just whoever calls it first in that case. Whichever jammer goes, yep, I'm out. Jinx and Tonic back out on the jammer line for the Valkyries, but Missy Tuffet is lead jammer for the Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic has also completed initial pass. Currently a slight pack advantage to the Supernovas. Dame Vivian Messwood in the penalty box. Missy Tuffet calling the jam, not quite quick enough to prevent the Valkyries from scoring. 1 point to the Valkyries, taking them to 6. 3 points to the Supernovas, taking them to 17. Again, that slight pack advantage to the Supernovas with Dame Vivian Messwood in the Spank Alley penalty box. Isla Vista out for the Supernovas, Shell Razor out for Tweed. And that is a lead jammer to Isla Vista, but Shellraiser is also out of the pack and overtaking Isla Vista on the turn. That is a jam called. No points to either team. Sorry about the camera angles on that previous jam. I have been left in control of too many things. Holly Funk on the jammer line for the Supernovas. Hooker back out for the Valkyries. We are live. Hooker being run back by Regulator. Holly Funk out the lead in the front of the pack. We've got, I think that's Taylor Slipley sitting in the penalty box for the Valkyries. Hooker out for initial pass, but Holly Funk calls the jam. 4 points for the Supernovas. Valkyries remaining on 6 to the Supernovas 21. Missy Tuffet on the jammer line for Newcastle, and Kip coming out of jammer retirement for the Valkyries. Kip running down the inside line to pick up a lead with the Valkyries. Missy Tuffet still looking for an exit as Kip comes around the outside to pick up 4 points for Tweed. Missy Tuffet coming around the inside to complete initial pass. Kip is out for 4 more points, calls the jam. 8 points for Tweed in that jam, taking them to 14. The Supernovas ahead by 7 points on 21. Jinx and Tonic back out on the jammer line for Tweed. Isla Vista out once again for the Supernovas. Ooh, Jinx and Tonic taking a tumble off one skate there, but still managing to get through for a lead jammer. Isla Vista still looking for a way out of the pack for that initial pass. Jinx and Tonic out for 4 points for the Valkyries, and that is the initial pass for Isla Vista. Four points for the Valkyries, taking them to 18. Supernovas remaining on 21, now just 3 points in it. Holly Funk out once again for the Supernovas, and that is Shellraiser for Tweed. Slight pack advantage to Newcastle, but the Tweed blocker in the penalty box is about to be released. Shellraiser being sent to the penalty box, so this is currently a power jam for Holly Funk. Newcastle lining up, looking to do some team offense to get Holly Funk out of the pack. And Holly Funk is through for 4 points. Shellraiser not far off being released from the penalty box. Holly Funk out for 4 more points. Shellraiser is back into the pack. That is 4 more points for Holly Funk. Yes, aiming to keep things rolling. Why initial pass still needs to be completed. It is now a double power jam. That is a charging penalty being issued to Shellraiser. So a good chance for Holly Funk to rack up some points. That is another 4 points for Holly Funk. And the Supernovas opting to come at things with a fresh set of legs. Missy Tuffet taking the remaining few seconds of power jam for the Supernovas. That was a 16-point jam for Holly Funk, taking the Supernovas to 37 and widening that gap. And we have an official timeout occurring. So that might change some things up a little bit. We will see what happens. Alright, looks like the ref conference is over and we are back and ready to roll. Missy Tuffet lining up for the power jam. Shellraiser has been released from the penalty box. And that is lead jammer to Shellraiser for the Valkyries. And there has been a star pass for the Supernovas, but not a complete one. So Missy Tuffet heading to the penalty box as a jammer. Not able to relinquish that power to Fantastic. 4 points picked up so far by Shellraiser. And Shellraiser out the front for another 4 points for the Valkyries. Missy Tuffet being released from this Bank Alley penalty box. And now, once again, going far past a Fantastic, not quite making it. Another 4 points to Shellraiser. And there we go, Fantastic jamming for the Supernovas. Pile up at the back of the pack as Shellraiser calls the jam. We have the Valkyries on 34, a 16-point jam. That gap was widening, but now we are back to just 3 points in it. Supernovas 37, Valkyries 34. Kif taking to the jam line once again for Tweed. Isla Vista out for the Supernovas. And that is lead jammer to Kif. Isla Vista being sent to the penalty box. So this is now a power jam for Kif. 4 points to the Valkyries, a lead change. Great apex jump around the inside curve there for Kif, 4 points. Kif running through that last line of defense in regulator to pick up another 4 points. Isla Vista being released from the penalty box. Going for the jump and not landing it. 4 points for Kif. Kif being sent to the back by Marilyn Tantrum, and a jam is called. No initial for the Supernovas. The Valkyries pulling ahead a little bit with a 16-point jam, taking them to 55 points rather. But there are still only 18 points in the game. Holly Funk lining up again for the Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic out for the Valkyries. 51 points, sorry, is the correction on the scoreboard. Maybe only 1 point in that last pass. Holly Funk out for... All right, getting my words in order. Jinx and Tonic out for lead. Holly Funk going in for the jammer hit. Jinx and Tonic going, I don't want to play these games, and calling the jam. No points for anyone in that one. We have Missy Tuffet out there for the Supernovas up against Hooker for Tweed. And that is Missy Tuffet out for lead, but Hooker has also completed initial pass. Hooker going in for the hit, but Missy Tuffet managing to hit back, I guess, and avoid the impact. It's like 1 point snuck in for the Supernovas, taking them to 38, Valkyries 51. And we have a Supernovas team timeout being called. Gives me a moment to talk about some of our sponsors. The Jam Line is sponsored by Roller Derby Heaven. Proud supporters of Aussie Roller Derby for 15 years. The team lives and breathes Derby, giving you expert advice, the best gear and a friendly face every time. And there is that rolling whistle. Shellraiser out again for the Valkyries. Isla Vista for the Supernovas. The blockers really crowding that Squirtle pivot line. And that is a lead jammer to Shellraiser. And 4 points on the board for Shellraiser. There has been a star pass for the Supernovas. That is fantastic now, having a jam. But Shellraiser out for 4 points and calls the jam. 8 points for the Valkyries, taking them to 59. Supernovas 38. A bit over 11 minutes left in the first half. Jinx and Tonic out on the jammer line for Tweed. Holly Funk back out for Newcastle. Slight pack advantage to Tweed with a Newcastle blocker in the penalty box. And that is lead jammer to Jinx and Tonic. Holly Funk also completing initial pass. Tweed going for a quick point and then calling the jam. A quick 4 points. All of them picked up there. Valkyrie 63, Supernovas 38. Kiff back out on track for the Valkyries. Missy Tuffet once again for the Supernovas. And we have another pivot line start. Kiff once again picking up lead jammer. Regulator providing offense from the after returning from the penalty box to try and get Missy Tuffet out of the pack. 4 points picked up by Kiff, and we've had another star pass to Fantastic. That is initial pass completed for Fantastic. But Kiff twirls around the Newcastle pack on 1 foot and picks up 4 points and calls the jam. Tweed on 71 to the Supernovas 38. Hooker lining up once again for Tweed. Isla Vista out again for the Supernovas. And there is a penalty being issued to Hooker. I believe that was a high block. So it is currently a power jam for Isla Vista. Two Tweed blockers also taking a seat in the penalty box. So Isla Vista only having Avarice Arse and one other to contend with. That is Taylor Swiftly. Isla Vista out for 4 points. Hooker being released from the penalty box along with that is Comet. That is initial pass completed by Hooker. Isla Vista calling the jam. Big impact at the end there, but I think they're okay. They have returned to the bench under their own power, which we always like to see. Five points for the Supernovas there, taking them to 43. Valkyrie still out in front on 71. Holly Funk back out on the jammer line up against Shellraiser. And that is lead jammer to Holly Funk. Initial pass completed by Shellraiser. 4 points for Holly Funk. And that is the jam called by Holly Funk. Supernovas closing in on that score gap a bit more. 24 points in it. Kiff jamming once again. Missy Tuffet out for the Supernovas. But we're in an official timeout while our officiating crews get their ducks in a row. Looks like Fantastic being released from the penalty box after that clarification. And we are back into it. After that, I guess, penalty review, the pack advantage is to the Supernovas with Pain Terror in the penalty box for the Valkyries. Bit of a pile up at the back of the pack through the collision, through the craziness. Both jammers are out, but Kip is lead. Kip not quite landing the apex jump there, and looks like there was maybe a bit of a head impact with the other jammer coming through into the same spot. Everyone is off track, but a medic is being summoned just in case. Better to be safe than sorry with all impacts to the noggin. Isla Vista back out on the jammer line for the Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic for the Valkyries. Still that slight pack advantage to the Supernovas. It is real mushy out there. The whole pack being concentrated into one corner of the outside line, but Jinx and Tonic finds a way out to pick up the lead for the Valkyries. Isla Vista being forced to yield to the back of the pack. And that is Jinx and Tonic out for 4 points. Initial pass completed for Isla Vista. Jinx and Tonic calling the jam. Looks like 3 points picked up there. Marilyn Tantrum managing to save their point. And we have an official review being called. I will run in and find out what that is about. All right, so the official review was Newcastle were seeking a high block to be issued to the Tweed jammer for the previous jam due to some action that occurred right at the beginning of that uh, first, right at the beginning of that last jam on the Jammer line scuffle we saw. But it was deemed that the officials that did have eyes on the action didn't see that there was anything in there that would warrant a high block penalty. If there was anything, it was all incidental. Holly Funk back out to jam for the Supernovas. Shell Razor out once again for the Valkyries. Fantastic being sent to the penalty box for a forearms. Mischief also heading to the penalty box for the Valkyries. Both jammers out of the pack, but it is Shellraiser who is lead. Calling the jam, no points for either team. Bit over 4 minutes left in this first half. Missy Tuffet out for the Supernovas. Kip out for Tweed. We are in another official review. I think that is just making sure that our...
We didn't end the official timeout, so it's going to
yeah. Official timeout rather than official review, sorry. Getting my words jumbled at this time of the tournament. Just fixing up the scoreboard clock to match the official game stopwatch time. And we are back. Missy Tuffet on the jammer line for Newcastle. Kip out for the Valkyries. Both teams down a blocker. And Kip through for lead. A jammer out the front of the pack. Missy Tuffet completing initial pass. But Kip, a very fast jammer, going for those points and calling the jam. Supernovas 49, Valkyries 82. All right, we've got Isla Vista out for Newcastle. Hooker being sent to the penalty box. I think that was, not sure what that was. I did not hear it or see it properly. But we have a power jam for Isla Vista, lead jammer for the Supernovas. Isla Vista going for the jump and not quite making it. Looks like potentially some impediment there from Happy Kilmore. Hooker being released from the penalty box and Isla Vista calls the jam. 4 points for the Supernovas. 53 versus 82 on the scoreboard in favour of the Valkyries. Slight pack advantage to the Supernovas with Happy Kilmore remaining in the penalty box. And we are once again seeing this matchup between Shellraiser and Holly Funk. Holly Funk straight down the inside line to pick up lead jammer for the Supernovas. Holly Funk out for 4 points. That is initial pass completed for Shellraiser. Holly Funk calling the jam. 3 points in that second pass. Supernovas on 60, Valkyries 82, 22 points in it. Time for at least one more jam in this first half. And it is Missy Tuffet lining up against Jinx and Tonic on the jammer line. Both teams, again, are down a blocker each. And that is the lead awarded to Jinx and Tonic. Missy Tuffet also completing initial pass. Big hit on Jinx and Tonic from, I believe that was horizontal. Jam called, but I don't think there was points to either team. Time for one more. Oh, nope, there was 2 points to Jinx and Tonic. Valkyries on 84. Potentially the final jam about to take place for this half. We have Kif out for the Valkyries, Isla Vista for the Supernovas. Kif once again claiming lead jammer status. Isla Vista has completed initial pass. Kif calls the jam. 3 points for the Valkyries, taking them to 87. Supernovas on 60. And looks like we may still have one more jam in this half. One second on the period clock as this jam started. That is lead to Jinx and Tonic. Holly Funk also out for initial. And Tweed making the smart decision to call that. We have Supernovas on 60, Valkyries 87. No points for anyone in that jam. And now we are into half time. We'll be back in about 14 minutes. Been accidentally walking in front of cameras all weekend.
Hey, Charles.
So,
Every day.
especially today, I brought mine from home as usual, but then next what we come with like latte, so
Yes, one of the in season now.
haven't been having as many as usual this year though because work moved and there's not a Starbucks close to the new office. So one of the remote skaters works at the indoor Starbucks, so when I show up there and they're working, I get free.
Picture about that from Phoenix being every year. No one on the audience, and that's easy in my audience, so I thought that was so fucking cool. Exactly.
I did have the comments up when I was last week that we watched on the street.
There's 17. Yeah, so there's 17 people watching that night, and you have like 3 comments and 1
Just turtle being followed by a dinosaur and just being like,
Yeah, I think it was all.
It's not the common thing, right?
I was like a minute ago I was saying 5 minutes, now it's 1 minute, and I'm like, but they're all over there yapping, so. Just about to head into the second half of this game between Newcastle Roller Derby League Supernovas and Tweed Valley Rollers Valkyries. The winner of this game getting the honour of 5th place in Division 2 for Tropicarnage 2025. If you missed the first half on the scoreboard, we have Supernovas on 60, Valkyries out in front on 87. Looks like just some penalty and scoring things being sorted out. I might cut to mute just for another second until we are ready and raring to go. bit of a delay there, but I think we are actually back this time for the second half between Tweed Valley Rollers Valkyries and Newcastle Roller Derby League Supernovas. And we are live with the first jam of the second half. Kiff through out of the front of the pack to pick up lead jammer for the Valkyries. Holly Funk completing initial pass for the Supernovas. Kiff being issued a cut track penalty. So it is now a power jam for Holly Funk, and we will have a 2-minute jam. That is 4 points so far for Holly Funk. A back block being issued to a very sheepish looking Happy Kilmore. 4 points to Holly Funk. Newcastle lining up to do some team offense. Buster popping Holly Funk out of bounds. The second attempt more successful though. 4 points for Holly Funk. Kiff returning to the track from the Spank Alley penalty box. Being run back by Marilyn Tantrum. And that is another penalty to Happy Kilmore. 4 points picked up by Kiff. Holly Funk around the outside for another 4 points. And Kiff with a nice little apex hop to pick up 4 points for the Valkyries. That pack is gaining some speed. The jam is called off. Or rather, timed out. That was a 2-minute jam. There was, I think, a 17-point jam for the Supernovas, taking them to 77. 8 points for the Valkyries, taking them to 95. Jinx and Tonic out on the jam line for the Valkyries. A Missy Tuffet for the Supernovas. Slight pack advantage to the Supernovas, but Happy Kilmore is now back on track. Lead jammer being awarded to Missy Tuffet. Initial pass has been completed by Jinx and Tonic. But Missy Tuffet is through and calls the jam. 4 points for the Supernovas, taking them to 81. 14 points the difference. Isla Vista out on the jam line for the Supernovas, up against Shellraiser for the Valkyries. A strong hit there from Mischief to send Isla Vista to the back of the pack. Lead jammer being picked up by Shellraiser. Britches taking a seat in the penalty box. That is initial pass for Isla Vista. Shellraiser calling the jam. 4 points for the Valkyries, taking them to 99. Vatpie taking a seat in the penalty box. Both teams will be down a blocker going into this next jam. Holly Funk back out on the jam line for the Supernovas. Hooker jamming for the Valkyries. And that is a lead jammer to Hooker, but Holly Funk quicker around the turn. going for a late call. Potentially maybe a point snuck in there by Holly Funk. Looks like there is some jammer ref math happening there. 1 point for Holly Funk. Kiff back out on the jammer line up against a Missy Tuffet. Light pack advantage to the Valkyries. Kiff getting involved in the blocking action as well. That is a lead jammer to Missy Tuffet, but Kiff is closing in on the chase. A very fast skater. The pack also starting to speed up, but there was still a point in there for Missy Tuffet. 2 points for Kiff. Valkyries, 3 points for Kiff. No, 2 points. 2 points. 2 points for the Supernovas, correction. 84 for the Supernovas to the Valkyries, 102. Isla Vista back out on the jammer line for the Supernovas, but your lead jammer is Jinx and Tonic for the Valkyries. Comet taking a seat in the penalty box. But there is a forearms being issued to Jinx and Tonic. And Isla Vista having a power jam, but not declared lead. So this will be a 2-minute jam. 4 points for Isla Vista. Foster taking Isla Vista down. Forcing the yield all the way to the back of the pack. And now also having to yield to Comet as Comet has returned from the penalty box. Jinx and Tonic is back on track and straight around the inside apex to complete initial pass of Valkyries. Isla Vista going down backwards there. Looks to be okay though. Straight back up and into the thick of it. 4 points for Jinx and Tonic. A bit of a pile up at the front of the pack there, but Isla Vista once again bouncing back to pick up 4 points for the Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic with another 4 points for the Valkyries. That is 2 minutes up, the end of that jam. All being right behind the officials, so did not have a lot to contribute to that conversation. 2 points in that final pass for the Supernovas, taking them to 94. 8 points for the Valkyries. They are now on 110. Shellraiser out to jam once again up against Holly Funk for the Supernovas. And that is lead jammer to Holly Funk. Shellraiser being sent to the back of the pack, forced to yield behind Fantastic. 4 points for Holly Funk out the front of the pack. And that is initial pass completed for Shellraiser. Holly Funk calling the jam. A late forearms call being issued to Shellraiser. So this will be a power jam start for the Supernovas. That was an 8-point jam for the Supernovas, taking them to 102 to Tweed's 110. Things are getting exciting here. There is just 8 points in it, and Supernovas are just about to have a power jam. Supernovas hanging back and letting Missy Tuffet push that tripod through, and Missy Tuffet is out the lead jammer. Shellraiser about to return to the track. That is 4 points for Missy Tuffet. Shellraiser completing initial pass. Melonhead being sent to the penalty box to have a think about what they've done. With those 4 points to Missy Tuffet, there is now just 4 points in this game. Supernovas 106 to Valkyries 110. And with 20 minutes left, absolutely anything could happen. Kiff out to jam for PVR. Isla Vista out for the Supernovas, but it is Kiff, a lead jammer out the front of the pack. Kiff with a great little hop around that inside apex to pick up 4 points. A star pass to Marilyn Tantrum for the Supernovas. Forcing Kiff to call that jam. 4 points picked up for the Valkyries, re-extending their lead to 8 points, but that is still not very much in a game of roller derby. Jinx and Tonic back out on the jammer line for Tweed. Holly Funk out once again for Newcastle. And that is lead jammer for Holly Funk. Jinx and Tonic close to freedom, but fighting with that last line of defense in Regulator. That is initial pass completed for Jinx and Tonic. Holly Funk calling the jam. 4 points for the Supernovas, 110. Valkyries, 116. 6 points in the game, but now we have a Tweed timeout being called. I will use this timeout to talk about our pivot line sponsor, Queensland Roller Derby Leagues, aka Quirtle. Quirtle's mission is to support, develop and promote active participation in roller derby across Queensland. The Quirtle Committee is made up of representatives from roller derby leagues across Queensland who work together to coordinate roller derby events such as the annual tournament Trop Cup. Quirtle is committed to creating an inclusive, welcoming and safe environment at events where the human rights of people of all genders and all cultures are upheld and respected, as officials, participants, volunteers, photographers, sponsors and spectators. In the current climate in particular, it is important to champion the rights of transgender athletes to participate, to be respected and to be protected both in gameplay and online. Quirtle see you, Quirtle stand next to you, and Quirtle support you. And that is timeout over. Missy Tuffet taking to the jam line for the Supernovas. Hooker back out on track for the Valkyries. Both quite drivey jammers, these two, but it is Hooker who finds a way out of the pack first to pick up lead. Dame Vivian Messwood being sent to the penalty box. That is initial pass for Missy Tuffet as Hooker comes through for 4 points. Tweed calling the jam. 10 points in it now. Valkyries 120, Supernovas 110. Shellraiser back on the jammer line, but there is a bit of a pack advantage to the Supernovas with 2 Tweed blockers in that penalty box. Ayla Fisker out for the Supernovas. Ayla Fisker through for lead. Shellraiser also completing initial pass. Marilyn Tantrum headed to the penalty box. A bit of a jammer race ending in Ayla Fisker deciding to call the jam. No points for anyone in that one. 15 minutes left. We have Kif out on the jammer line for the Valkyries. Holly Funk out for the Supernovas. Kif getting run to the back of the pack by the Newcastle defence. Holly Funk out the front of the pack, the lead jammer. Now the tables have turned, just 2 Newcastle blockers on track. Initial pass completed by Kif. Holly Funk calls the jam, 4 points, but also 3 points to the Valkyries, taking our scores to 114 versus 123. Missy Tuffet lining up against Jinx and Tonic on the jammer line. A bit of a smaller pack, 3 TBR blockers, 2 new Supernovas blockers on the track. Jinx and Tonic being sent to the penalty box for a cut track. So this is now a power jam for Missy Tuffet. Kane Terra and Buster doing the absolute most to slow down Missy Tuffet, but Missy Tuffet is out for initial pass. That is 4 points to Missy Tuffet. Jinx and Tonic about to be released from the penalty box. And Jinx and Tonic has been released with another 4 points for Missy Tuffet. Newcastle opting to run this jam a bit more. That is initial pass for Jinx and Tonic. 4 points for Missy Tuffet. I believe we have had a lead change. That pack is running. Jinx and Tonic going to the penalty box for another penalty, leaving another power jam for Missy Tuffet. Probably exactly what the Supernovas are looking for right now. 4 points on the board. All right, that is jam over. A lot of things happening there. 130 points to the Supernovas, 127 points to the Valkyrie, 126. The scores keep changing. 132 points to the Supernovas, 126 points to the Valkyries, new leaders. We now have an official review, so I'll be running in to see what that's all about. All right, so that official review was that Tweed was seeking for the second penalty on their jammer to be rescinded, as they deemed that another skater was responsible for the contact that caused that to occur. And that was a successful official review. Tweed have a jammer release from the penalty box, as the contact was deemed incidental and unavoidable. But right now we have Isla Vista lead jammer for the Supernovas. Shellraiser out for the Valkyries, looking for that initial pass still. Isla Vista coming back into the pack as Shellraiser is out the front of the pack for initial pass completed. Isla Vista calls the jam. There was points there for the Supernovas, I believe, all four. $136 for the Supernovas, ahead by 10 to the Valkyries, 126. Hooker back out to jam for the Valkyries. Holly Funk out again for the Supernovas. Hooker picking up the lead, Jammer, but Holly Funk is also out of the pack. A bit of a pile up there, so I think some maths and some assessing being done by the refs, but there was no points to either team. Still that 10-point differential. Missy Tuffet back out on the jammer line for the Supernovas. Kiff out again for the Valkyries. Slight pack advantage to the Supernovas. And that is lead jammer to Kiff. Missy Tuffet out the front of the pack for initial pass. Kiff twirling around the inside line to pick up 4 points and call the jam. But there was 2 points to the Supernovas. 8 points in it. Supernovas 138, Valkyries 130. Isla Vista out for Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic out for the Valkyries. Slight back advantage to Tweed. Now 2 Newcastle blockers in the Spank Alley penalty box. And that allows Jinx and Tonic to get through to pick up lead jammer. Isla Vista still looking for that initial pass. Jinx and Tonic coming back into the pack and straight through for 4 points. I think there was an attempt to call there, but then there was the realization that Isla Vista is still on initial pass. That is 4 points for the Valkyries. Our scores are now dead even. There has been a star pass. There is now fantastic with the jammer star for the Valkyries, for the Supernovas rather. Initial pass has been completed. Another 4 points for Jinx and Tonic. Fantastic getting thrown into the Tweed bench by Pain Terror. Jinx and Tonic, I think, picking up another 4 points there. We've had another lead change. There is now a 7 points difference. Supernovas 139, Valkyries 146. Looks like the Tweed Valley Benchy may have copped a wheel to the shin in that incident. It was kind of caused by own team though, as it was Pain Terror that caused that impact. Too fantastic. I can't say this is a situation I have seen before where a skater has blown into a bench and into the benchy. But we are back in action. Everyone crowding around that Squirtle pivot line. Oh, moving backwards now. Shellraiser out to Jam for Tweed. Holly Funk out for Newcastle. And that is Shellraiser through for lead jammer. Mischief getting sent to the penalty box. Holly Funk out the front for an initial pass. And a cut track being issued to Shellraiser. This game could go absolutely anyway still. Holly Funk probably very happy to have that power jam right now and a chance to claw back.
Do you
That is 4 points for the Supernovas. An official timeout being signalled by the scoreboard. Okay, maybe there wasn't points for the Supernovas that last game. That is lead jammer to Missy Tuffet, taking advantage of this power jam for the Supernovas, but Shellraiser is being released from the Spank Alley penalty box as Happy Kilmore goes in. That is 4 points for Missy Tuffet, taking the Supernovas to 143. There is now just a 3-point differential. And we have new leaders once again, 147 versus 146, with another 4 points for the Supernovas. That is another 4 points for Missy Tuffet. Newcastle setting up to clear the way, trying to get Missy Tuffet out one more time, but Shellraiser has been released from the penalty box. And that is jam over. Supernovas 151 after a 12-point. No, looks like there's another 2 points there. A 14-point jam for Missy Tuffet. 15-point jam for Missy Tuffet, taking Supernovas to 154. Valkyries 146. And we are in an official timeout. Looks like there is maybe a foul out taking place in the penalty box, as I believe I just saw reflected in the penalty boards on screen. That is kicked out on the jammer line up against Holly Funk. Kip getting drawn back by Fantastic, being issued a cut track. The Supernovas probably overjoyed at this information. Holly Funk is out for lead jammer. And that is 4 points for Holly Funk. And another 4 points for Holly Funk. Kip coming back on track from the penalty box, forced to yield. Holly Funk calls the jam. Not sure if that's a 12-point jam or an 8-point jam for the Supernovas. 12-point jam. Supernovas 166, extending their lead to 20 points. Valkyries 146. And we have Kif starting in the penalty box, so it is a power jam for Missy Tuffet in this moment. That is a lead to Missy Tuffet. A beautiful little job from Missy Tuffet to pick up another 4 points. We are into the final 2 minutes of this game. Kif has been released from the penalty box, getting drawn back by a regulator. That is a solid wall of Comet and Mischief slowing down Missy Tuffet as Kif completes initial pass. But Missy Tuffet uses that lead jammer power to call off the jam. There was another 3 points in there. Supernovas 173 to Valkyries 146. We have time for one more jam, and of course we are finishing it off with Holly Funk, Jinx and Tonic out for Tweed Valley Rollers. Agreeing with the sentiment in the chat that this game has been so up and down, an emotional roller coaster. Holly Funk lead jam up for the Supernovas. And a cut track being issued to Holly Funk. Jinx and Tonic completing initial pass, so we'll be finishing with a 2-minute jam. But also a cut track being issued to Jinx and Tonic. So we will have a jammer bounce, but we will still be going for 2 minutes. Holly Funk released from the penalty box as Jinx and Tonic entered. Is 4 points to Jinx, to Holly Funk. Jinx and Tonic being released from the penalty box. Marilyn Tantrum clearing the way for Holly Funk through the Tweed defense. Holly Funk around the outside for another 4 points for the Supernovas. Jinx and Tonic being yielded to the back of the pack. So there has been a star pass to Avarice Us. That is 4 points to the Valkyries. Holly Funk picking up 4 points as that jam concludes. What a game that was. There was very many ups and downs, twists and turns, an exciting journey for all concerned. Our unofficial final scores, 185 to the Supernovas, Tweed Valley Rollers 146. Coming up next on this track, we have our Division 1 bronze medal game, Victorian Roller Derby League Thunder versus Perth Roller Derby West Coast Eagles. But that was our rolling whistle, finalising those scores, 189 for the Supernovas, taking out 5th place Valkyries on 150. I have been Purple Rain, and I am tapping out.